September the 4th, 2026, there will be a figure skating competition, and this is the first senior figure skating competition where all nations are going to be back since 4 years ago, since 2022. This competition is called the Kinoshita Cup Challenge. The Challenger Series in figure skating is a series of competitions where senior athletes can go out there and compete internationally, and they can get world standing points, so they can get like their world rankings and everything. But this series is not the most prestigious series out there. When you compare the Challenger Series to things like World Championships or the Olympic Games, it doesn't really mean that much. However, because Russian athletes are now being admitted under the neutral status and they're back in competition for the first time in 4 years, this competition actually means a lot. At least to me it does. Because do you really think that athletes and audience members are just going to be like, oh, they're back? Whatever happens is going to be major news, because Russia has been the most dominant force in figure skating. And that's like an objective fact. I mean, just look at their Olympic gold medal count. We have the Olympian from Russia, Peter Gumenik, versus Ryo Nakata, one of the greatest senior prospects coming out of Japan, versus Shun Sato, the Olympic bronze medalist, versus Jacob Sanchez, a very strong skater who won the Junior Grand Prix finals as a junior. And that's just the men's. Now look how stacked the women's are. We have Alexandra Ignatova, who is formerly Chusova, who many people consider to be one of the greatest figure skaters, female figure skaters of all time, versus Ami Nakai, Olympic bronze medalist, versus Mone Chiba, who's an Olympian and second place at the World Championships, versus Mao Shimada, who is just now going into her first senior season and has not lost in like forever. I think she is the most dominant women's junior figure skater of all time. We also have another neutral athlete, Anna Frolova. We also have Kamila Nilubova, I think I said that name right, who is also another neutral athlete who can make a big splash. Like, there are just so many names coming into this, right? And I'm going to give my predictions on who I think is going to get bronze, silver, and gold, right? But before we get into that, I just want to talk about the implications of this competition. So about the Challenger Series, once again, I'm going to put some information on the screen right now from Reddit, actually from this user here. You know, this is when we're first seeing many new programs come out. And that's what makes these competitions so exciting, because like, you know, you get to see new programs sometimes for the first time from these skaters. For example, Jacob Sanchez has a Demon Slayer program that, you know, he's announced, but we've never seen all the way through. It's going to be amazing seeing him debut a Demon Slayer program in Japan. And for like the not tapped in audience out there, Demon Slayer is an anime, and anime is from Japan. Or at least that anime is from Japan. So there's that excitement that's always there. And then there's the excitement of seeing junior skaters skate at the senior level for the first time. If you guys didn't know, in competitive figure skating, there's a lot of levels. It starts all the way down at like preliminary and goes all the way up to senior. And to be able to move up levels, not only do you have to pass tests to get to that level, but you also have to be a certain age. But the competitions you see online and on TV are usually junior and senior competitions. And when you see skaters move up from junior to senior level skating internationally, it's not because like they're getting a new skill and now they're going from like junior to senior. It's usually because they just get older. Because now within figure skating, you have to be at least 17 years old to become a senior skater. So when I say a skater like Ryo Nakata or Mao Shimada is entering their first season as a senior, it doesn't mean like, oh, only now are they able to be at the skill level of a senior. No, it means like now they're 17 plus, so that's why they're able to be a senior. And they were a junior before that, not because they were like way less skillful. It's because they were not old enough yet. Ryo Nakata and Mao Shimada genuinely both have very good chances at the podium. Both of them within their junior careers have shown that they are pretty dominant. For example, let's start with Ryo Nakata. He is a back-to-back junior world champion. And keep in mind, like, the junior world championship is the highest competition you can go to as a junior other than like the Youth Olympic Games. And he has quads too. Quad Salchow, quad toe loop. His junior free skate got 178 points. 178 points. Let's put this into perspective now. That free skate score would have been the 6th highest free skate score at this year's Winter Olympics, because Yuma Kageyama, who got the silver medal at this year's Olympics, his free skate was 176 points. Ryo Nakata just got 178 points as a junior. This is not a scrub we're talking about here. This is a force. And speaking of forces, we have to talk about Mao Shimada, who is also from Japan. Like I said before, her level of dominance at the junior level, I don't think we've seen it anywhere ever. Let's just go over what she's done, all right? 2024 Youth Olympic gold medalist, 4-time world junior champion, back to back to back to back, 4-time junior Grand Prix final champion, back to back to back to back again. Before you get to the Grand Prix final, you have to go through the Grand Prix itself. And you can get invited to up to 2 different Grand Prix competitions before you can qualify for like the Grand Prix final if you do good in those like 2 Grand Prix that you're invited to. And you know what? Every single time that Mao Shimada went into a Grand Prix competition, finals or not, she's won. She's won the junior Japanese nationals like what, 4 times? And she hasn't got anything less than first place in Japanese domestic competitions since 2018. And at the time I'm recording this video, she just landed a quad toe loop and triple axel at her most recent competition. I mean, she just won it, and we have both of those skaters in this competition. Whew. That's already like such a big deal. But now let's talk about the Russian skaters, or the neutral athletes coming into this competition. Peter Gumenik was the only Russian male skater allowed back into the Winter Olympics this year. Like, he was thrust 4th out there with all that pressure, and he went to the Olympics and he didn't do bad. Like, he placed 6th overall. If I played 6th overall, I would be going crazy right now. And he landed many clean quads within his programs. Like, for example, in his free skate, he had a clean quad lut, clean quad flip, clean quad loop. So not only is he going into this competition having already like made the Russian debut, so that pressure is like kind of off of him a little bit, but he's also going into this competition with the most quads out of everybody here, I think. But even like the other Russian skaters like Mark and Evgeny here, they don't have as many quads as him. Like, Peter has 4 quads and Mark and Evgeny have 3, and Peter does them more consistently. Peter, Mark, and Evgeny, they're all strong within the jumps. But what's lacking with especially like Evgeny and Mark, to me, components. People get on Ilya Malinin sometimes for not being artistic and not having like good skating skills, right? And I don't really fully agree with that stuff. But if people already think that Ilya has like some issues with his artistry and skating skills, then these people have bigger issues than that, like a lot bigger than that. For example, when people have very energetic programs, they usually put that energetic program as their short program, because you can do like really big bursts of energy in the short program, and you don't have to like have insane endurance, because you know it's a lot shorter than the free skate where you have to skate for like 4.5 minutes, and if you expend all of your energy during like certain parts of the free skate, then you run the risk of like the rest of your program being not high quality. So if you're going to have a ton of energy somewhere, it's going to be in your short program, especially if your song choice calls for that energy. And I don't want to pick on Evgeny, of course, but he's like a prime example. When like in his short program, he's skating to like a lot of these electric guitar songs. It's like a medley of electric guitar songs, and they're intense, and they're in the short program, they're calling for some energy. He's not really giving it. And let me remind people here, I'm only criticizing skating, not anything personal. But when it comes to the skating itself, it really is highlighted in things like step sequences and choreography and like the composition of the program, where it's like, oh, outside of the jumps, what are you giving me? When you look at a skater like Alyssa Liu or Akari Sakamoto, every moment of their skating is like choreographed to the T, and they're actually performing out to the audience in everything that they do. Like, whilst they're doing turns and hops and choreography, they're also using their body, their face to express to the crowd. And I don't really see that within many Russian skaters. I don't see that within particularly Mark and Evgeny. Peter is a different story. I felt like his artistry, even at the Olympics, was good. Now let's move on to the Russian or neutral women's athletes. Before we get into the big name of Sasha Ignatova, we're going to talk about Anna, and we're going to talk about Kamila. Not Kamila Valieva, Kamila Nelibova. Alright, it's difficult to say her last name. It is a fact that Russian senior women have fallen off within the past 4 years. That might sound harsh, but that is the reality of the situation. 4 years ago, we had the big three of Kamila Valieva, Anna Shapakova, and Sasha Trusova. Each one of them had multiple quads. Sasha had like what, 5 quads or something. Like skaters like Camilla and Anna, they don't have really any quads at all. And I know that these aren't like the best of the best senior women skaters from Russia out there, but even like the best senior women out there aren't like what they used to be. Like Camila has her triple axel, but outside of that, her jumps are comparable to many other female senior skaters out there. I think her components are actually much less than many senior women out there. Anna doesn't have a quad nor a triple axel. That doesn't mean that they're automatically not going to do any good at all. I'm just saying that, like, hey, you know, a lot of people do like to say that Russians are just like this Terminator type force and that whatever competition they go to, they're just going to absolutely demolish. But it's not a guarantee now. The podium isn't going to be like Aliona Kostanaya, Kamila Valieva, Anna Shebakova, Alexandra Shusova. It's not going to be like that anymore. The technically strongest skater that's coming to this competition from Russia is Alexandra Shusova, or Alexandra Ignatova. She's been doing triple axels. Whether she's going to go for it or not, I don't know. She's been doing quad lutzes. She's been doing quite a few quad lutzes, actually. She did one really soon after pregnancy, and that's very impressive. So in my opinion, out of the Russian women in this competition, Alexandra, I know that the eyes are already going to be on her, and everyone's already expecting her to do quite well. If any of the Russian women are going to do well, it's going to be her. If any of the Russian women are going to podium, it's going to be her. And look, Camila and Anna, they're both great skaters, but there's other really, really good skaters with a lot more experience. Like Alexandra Trusova has already been to Olympic silver medalist, all right? She's been through a lot mentally already. But then there's other skaters, Moni Chiba, Ami Nakai, Yuna Aoki, Mao Shimada, all from Japan. All amazing skaters. Now let's talk about my totally 100% accurate predictions. Remember that these are just my personal predictions. I'm not trying to say that you should, you know, follow this and bet like the way I'm predicting. Actually, don't bet on figure skating at all. I don't want to see sports better than figure skating ever. But personally, this is how I think things are going to go. And let's start with the men's bronze. I think men's bronze is going to go to Ryo Nakata. Now, I was hyping up Ryo Nakata. He has such amazing jumps. And actually, I didn't even talk about his artistry, his components. They're so good. If you just go back and watch his previous like flamenco type performance that he had at the World Championships, it was astounding. I loved it. Ryo Nakata, he keeps that style, that energy all throughout his program. Like even his junior years, his step sequences look so mature for his age. But when you make that jump into seniors, there is a difference, okay? There's a difference in the environment. There is a difference in your competitors. And I feel like the people in second and first place I have, they're just going to be more technically advanced. They're also going to be more experienced. Like for Ryo Nakata to come out here and get bronze, like if he goes out and does that, that's going to be really good. You're going against people with multiple quads and other Olympians, and you're still able to hang up in there in the podium. Like that's a crazy feat. I just think that second place and first place, their points are just going to be higher because of their jumps. So let's talk about second place. Shun Sato. Shun Sato has experience, okay? He has experience at the World Championships and at the Olympic Games where he went through like emotional roller coasters, okay? I'm talking about like sobbing during the team free skate at the Olympics because like he tried his best and did his all to try to, you know, be better than Ilya to bring Japan up to first place in gold, but he wasn't able to do that even with like such an amazing free skate that he put on. He ended up getting bronze at the Olympics after an emotional roller coaster where like during his short program he messed up pretty bad, so like he was far down the rankings and then made like this huge comeback to third place in the free skates. And it's like, whoa, what happened there? Man, like this guy has got some high tense situations that he's been through, and he showed that he's able to skate under that pressure. He's able to land like quad lutzes under that pressure. Like people forget, man, skating is a mental sport. It's like 80% mental and the other 80% is physical. But when you've shown me that you're able to pop out clean quads like Shun Sato has done, then I put a lot of weight into that. I think he's going to get that silver because he's going to do more quads than Ryo Nakata. He's going to do them clean. And I feel like coming into this next season, there's not a lot technically that he had to change, right? So he can just maintain his technicality and he just has to push into his components. And if he alone just maintained his technicality, then I feel like he would have already got second place over Ryo Nakata. And if he does push his components even higher, then I feel like yeah, of course, he's going to be second place above Ryo Nakata. Now let's move on to who I think is going to get first place, and that's Peter Gumenik. Peter Gumenik is going to have the most quads out of everybody in this competition. So like, that's going to be huge in terms of points, in terms of technical points for him. His components are clearly the weakest part of his skating, but I think that just by having more quads than the rest of his competition, he is able to make up for that point differential. And plus, with new programs and hopefully no copyright issues this time, he's able to do what he plans to do and skate a properly presented program. And that's why I think he's going to be above everybody else in the men's. Now moving on to women's. Let's start with bronze. I think bronze is going to go to Alexandra Ignatova. Ooh, now, I actually made a TikTok video talking about how Alexandra would get bronze in this competition. And I got a bunch of comments saying like, oh no, she's going to get gold. Like, you are underestimating her. No, I don't think I am. And to be honest, the reason why I think she's going to get third is because I don't think she's going to land her high level jumps that cleanly. I think for sure she's going to go for that quad lutz. And I think that she might go for the triple axel. Her triple axel has always given her some issues. We can think back to the short program at the Olympics. That triple axel like messing up was actually what lost her the Olympics. And I don't have any prior evidence that she has the best spins out there, like Monet Chiba, or the best step sequences out there. Like, even when she was at her like prime in 2022, she didn't have the best step sequences there either. She had the best jumps, and that's what put her score so high. But jumps are only one part of things. And if she's not going to go for 5 quads like she did back then she doesn't have that big point boost, at least not enough to get her into gold. I think she's going to be technically good enough to put her into third place, even if I don't know how good she's going to do components wise. But now let's talk about who I think is going to be in second place. I think second place is going to go to Monet Chiba. Monet Chiba is known, like Yuma Kageyama, for never getting first place and always getting like either second or something else, But I really do think Monet Chiba is going to get second place. To me, she's a very precise skater. When she lands her jumps, she lands them with high quality, high GOE. A skater who's going for these higher level jumps, such as triple axels and quads, they put themselves at a high risk of, having a bad grade of execution on them, and that bringing their score down enough so that, it hurts their presentation and also hurts their jump scores. So a very well put together triple combination can outscore even a quad. And Monet Chiba has extremely good spins. I think out of like all of the women in the world right now, she has some of the best. Like, if you've seen her layback spin, there's a reason why judges gave it a perfect score. She almost had it twice in the World Championships if one judge wasn't tripping in the short program. People don't talk about these things often. They just focus on jumps and jumps and jumps, but spins, skating skills, they make up points for your program too, okay? But her transitions in and out of jumps, oh my goodness, like, there's steps in and out of jumps that, maybe to a casual viewer, you won't see, but to the judges, it's like, wow, that's good edge control. And that's impressive stuff. That's noticed by the judges, and that's scored positively by the judges. So we have precision in her jumps. We have better skating skills and spins than basically most other women out there in the world. That's how I think she's going to beat out Sasha. But who's in first place? I think first place is going to be Ami Nakai. I feel like this might be the most controversial pick I have out of this entire list. I think that Ami Nakai is going to get gold because I think that she's going to make a huge leap this season. In the past, Ami Nakai has been a bit inconsistent. I mean, just at last World Championships, she was inconsistent. But I think that now is the time she's going to make her leap forward. I feel like her placing pretty low for her standards at Worlds was because she was exhausted from the Olympics. I think that by going to the Olympics, she has like this huge competition under her belt. That experience for her is going to be monumental going into this upcoming season. She put on such a lovely, smiley performance. So we know that she has that performance factor within her. But does she have the skating skills and the composition to back that up? I just observed that within Japan, there's a very strong culture of good skating skills there. And when you think about good components and good skating skills, who do you think about? Yuzuru Hanyu, Yuma Kageyama. Shoma Uno had some pretty entertaining programs too. He has skating skills that are so good that now he's moving on to ice dance, where it's like all skating skills basically. It's like, yeah, that's a weak spot for Ami Nakai, but there's people around her, there's an environment around her that can help her with that. And I think it would be crazy to think that somehow she just didn't have any of that assistance over the off season. We know that she can do the triple axel, even though It's kind of weird if you slow down the triple axel. She has a very unorthodox way of getting into that triple axel. But by having this triple axel, it being pretty, consistent, I think that she might even come up with a quad. Like, I would say she has a more consistent triple axel than Sasha. So if she has a better triple axel than Sasha, then, she's got her beat there. If she pulls up with a quad, then she has like Monochiba beat there too. She might have Sasha beat there too, because Sasha might, under rotate her LUTs. If she pushes up her components, like I think that she will, I think she's going to be above everybody else. But yes, there is a little bit of just like vibe going on here, okay? I think she's going to win this one. If you guys might have noticed, Mao Shimada is not on the list, and I might get a lot of hate for that one, especially because I hyped her up so much. Like I said that she was like the most dominant junior ever, and now she's not even on my podium for some random competition. But Mao Shimada, I'm sorry. I think that the competition here is just harder. I might be making a big mistake by not putting Mao Shimada on the podium. That's just like my really out there pick. But I think that something is going to happen. I think that mistakes will happen. And look, I don't want the mistakes to happen. This is just like my predictions here. Figure skating is slippery. And I think that might be a slip. It gets different when you go up to seniors. I might be wrong. Look, but I'm going to stand by what I say, okay? So let's just recap everything. Peter Gumenik gold, Shun Sato silver, Ryo Nakata bronze, Ami Nakai gold, Monochiba silver, Alexandra Ignatova bronze. So what do you guys think? Are you excited for this competition as much as I am? Do you think like Ami Nakai is gonna win? Do you think I'm crazy for having Mao Shimada off my list? Do you think I'm crazy for having Peter Gumenik first? What do you guys think about my predictions? Let me know what yours are below. And there's going to be many more videos coming out in the future, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And remember that if you want to support the channel even more, please consider becoming a channel member. But that is completely optional. What is not optional though is for you to have a very blessed day. Bye-bye.